My name is Joao, and I've been a truck driver for over 15 years. I've traveled all kinds of roads, from the smooth asphalt of the south to the bumpy dirt paths of the Mato Grosso interior. That night, I was on my way to Quarencha, a town so isolated it feels forgotten by the rest of the world. My truck, an old but reliable Scania, was carrying a load of cattle, about 30 or so, and the rumble of the engine was the only thing breaking the silence of that deserted road. It was around 2 in the morning when I left Barra do Garcas, Brazil. The night was pitch dark, with the full moon casting a silvery light over the dry grass fields stretching out on both sides. There were no cars, no motorcycles, no living soul. Just me, the truck, and the cattle, who every now and then let out a low moo, almost like they were sleeping. I put on some old sertanejo music on the radio to keep me company, but static started swallowing the songs after a few kilometers. I turned off the radio and let the sound of tires on the asphalt guide me. That's when I felt it. I can't quite explain it, but it was like the air got heavier. I glanced at the side mirror, expecting to see headlights from another vehicle, but nothing, just darkness. Still, something was bothering me. I adjusted my cap and gripped the steering wheel tighter. It's just tiredness, I thought. But then out of the corner of my eye, I saw a shadow dart past the passenger side window. My heart skipped a beat. I whipped my head around, but there was nothing there. Must have been a bird. I muttered to myself, trying to convince myself. Except birds don't fly at night. Not like that. The kilometers kept passing, and what started as discomfort turned into a fear I couldn't ignore. Around kilometer 200, the cattle started getting restless. At first, it was a single, isolated moo, then another, until the noise became a chorus of loud, panicked bellows. They were moving so much that I could feel the truck swaying slightly, as if they were trying to escape something. I looked in the internal rear-view mirror, but the tarp covering the cargo area blocked me from seeing what was happening back there. Then I heard it, a sound that wasn't from the cattle, the engine, or the wind. It was a low noise, almost like a growl mixed with the flapping of large wings. It was coming from above. My stomach turned to ice. I looked up at the ceiling of the cab, as if I could see through the metal. The sound grew louder, and suddenly I felt a weight on the truck, as if something had landed on the cargo area. The cattle went completely wild, slamming against the wooden rails, and the truck veered slightly to the side. I gripped the steering wheel with both hands, sweat dripping down my forehead, and floored the accelerator. I glanced at the side mirror again, and this time I saw it. It wasn't a bird or a drone or anything I could make sense of. It was a massive shadow with wings that looked like tattered membranes, flying low, just above the truck. The moonlight reflected off something that might have been eyes. 2 glowing red dots, bright like embers. My heart raced, and I started praying out loud, calling out to God, to St. Christopher, to anyone who might hear me. The thing followed me, sometimes rising into the sky, sometimes swooping so close I swore it would tear through the tarp with claws I couldn't even see clearly. It was about 50 kilometers of pure terror. I didn't know what it was, but I knew it wouldn't stop until I caught up. The truck roared at its limit, the tires screeching on the asphalt, while I kept my eyes glued to the road, waiting for a moment when the lights of Quarencha would appear. When I finally saw the faint glow of the gas station at the entrance to the city, I almost cried with relief. I slammed on the brakes. The truck skidded a little on the loose dirt of the shoulder, and I practically jumped out of the cab as soon as I stopped. The air was quiet again. No sound of wings, no strange snoring. Only the noise of the oxen, now calmer, as if the danger had passed. The gas station attendant, a thin guy with a sleepy look, walked towards me. "Is everything okay, buddy?" he asked, but I didn't answer. My legs were weak, my chest tight. "I just need to check the load," I said, more to myself than to him. I climbed into the back of the truck with a flashlight in my hand, the beam of light shaking as I pulled back the tarp. The cattle looked at me with those big, scared eyes, but they seemed fine, at least until I got to the bottom. 2 of them were lying there, motionless. I knelt down beside them and shone the light on their necks. My blood ran cold. Each one had 2 deep marks, wide, jagged bites with dry blood around them. It wasn't a jaguar or a Maine wolf. It was something bigger, something I didn't want to understand. I looked up at the sky, but there was nothing but stars. The gas station attendant shouted something about coffee, but all I could think about was that creature. It had let me go, but why? And worse still, was it still out there, waiting for the next trip? To this day, I don't know. But one thing is certain, I'll never take that road at night again. Subscribe to the channel and leave your like for more scary stories.